Hello guys, what time is it right now? It's
Notes. Clock. 12:07. Notes.
12:07 p.m.
Calendar. Sunday.
on
12. Settings.
12:07 p.m. on the 12th of March. My throat's being a bitch, but don't worry about it. I downloaded YouTube Studio last night, cleaned up my channel a little bit, wrote that very frightening post because not for everybody, because most of you guys are wonderful, so don't forget that. Basically this lady I met on Audio Boom when it used to be in existence. It used to be a audio podcasting platform which is now gone, and I at one point thought this lady was reasonably a good friend, but I've soon figured out that maybe she wasn't, and on and off over the years I would speak to this lady through WhatsApp and YouTube, and then I figured out that actually she was being really abusive to her kids, and Stanley, the husband of this Stephanie lady, he was enabling her behaviour. And now the only thing I can forgive is that she is blind and deaf, so I can forgive that, and mental illness. I can forgive the ailments, but I can't forgive the excuses for abusing the kids. The husband, he is fully sighted. He has probably got mental health issues, but he helped her abuse her kids, knowing that she already has other disabilities that he wasn't supporting her through properly. So I actually blame him for causing this lady to deteriorate. I do blame her for some of her excuses, and she was very controlling, so I'm glad that she's now gone off YouTube. If she comes back, I'm turning her into the police. She certainly doesn't live nearby where I live, thank God. She lives in another part of Australia, and I will turn her into those particular suburban police units if she comes back. Yeah. It started out when her children's babysitter a few years ago turned her in because of some of the abusive language that the youngest child was using, and it was quite disgusting, so I won't put it up here. This is not a video for child abuse. I don't like child pornography. I don't like child sex abuse. We are going to leave it at that. Basically, the babysitter turned this lady in due to stuff that the kids were saying, and allegedly some issues that, with some of their behaviour. And Stephanie tried to pin it on a rebellious attitude of the two oldest children, teaching the younger one to be not very nice. Now, I get older siblings can influence younger kids and teach younger kids, but really, Stephanie and Stanley were the responsible parties in the relationship. It was their fault that the two oldest children were teaching the younger brother how to be disgusting, basically. And they were allowing it, and then they got very violent to all three of the kids. The youngest kid noped out and was ostracised for being a rebellious child, when he was actually noping out of the abusive relationship between the parents and his other older siblings. And he was just following along with what he knew at the time. He didn't know better. At the time that I didn't know much of the story a few years ago, I thought, oh, well, there could be a point to what Stephanie was making. There could be a point. But no, she's downright disgusting, and so is Stanley. She's rude, she's horrible. Her singing voice, it used to be quite nice at one point when she was younger. Now it's absolutely disgusting. Like, she's deteriorated. I can forgive her for certain things, you know, we're all human. But the way she chose to treat those kids, and Stanley being the better partner, or not, shouldn't say better, he was supposed to be supporting his wife through illness, deafness, mental health, and all he did was say, oh, nothing you're doing's wrong, Stephanie, everything's okay, Stephanie, blah, blah, blah. Like, he should have pulled the plug somewhere and said, Steph, we're in it together, but your behaviour needs to stop. You know? He should have stood up and said, stop this noise. Just stop. We can both go to the hospital together, we can both go to the doctors together, but please just stop all this noise, you know? Stop that noise. The kids need help. Everyone needs help. So... And she could have turned around and gone, oh, you need help too, you know. And then he can just say, yeah, we do need help, but we're focusing on the fact that you're abusing the kids. Stop doing it. He didn't do that. He blatantly went along with it, got really violent towards the children. I was thinking, you know, maybe someone's lying, you know, who's lying, who's setting up Stephanie and Stanley and who isn't, like what's going on. Not many people get along perfectly well with their parents as they get older, and that's fine. Some people do, some don't. Oh, God. As it stands, the kids showed very, very red flags, sexual and physical abuse. Yeah, I don't think I wanted to go to find out, you know, in their, you know, to their home to find out exactly what that all meant. At one point, I would have thinking, oh, no, it's not real. Stephanie and Stanley aren't harming the kids. It's just, you know, someone's lying to them. Someone's setting them up. But now I'm realising, wait, actually, no, it's not a setup. They're being horribly disgusting. One of the older siblings was being really badly behaved at school and doing graffiti and writing really bad creative writing stories and poems, but it was very dark and very bad. Stephanie and Stanley got the blame for it. Now I know it's because they were horrible to the kids. Back when, a few years ago, I thought, oh, maybe Stephanie has a point, maybe the kids are just being kids. But now I know there's a darker side that Stephanie wasn't going to tell me in the first place. Last night I figured it out and I wrote that very scary post. So I'm glad it turned this disgraceful demon away from us, because she kept stalking me. Not physically, you know, she doesn't know where I live, but she kept stalking me online, so I just fully ditched her. And if she tries, maybe I should log into my Twitter account, and I'll go after her Twitter account too. She used to say to me that parenting is a work in progress, and I'm like, behaving really violently to your kids is not a work in progress, it's abuse. So don't do it. I'm going to have to get on Twitter and turn her Twitter profile in, I think. Anyway, hopefully she'll be gone forever. I haven't even logged into Twitter for months, so I don't even think I'll log back in. I don't use Twitter anymore. I'm not interested in it. Yeah. So, you know, there's a line to draw somewhere, and last night the line was drawn. I thought, well, we don't need child abusers in our lives. Child pornography, we don't need all that shit. Fuck that noise, get rid of it. Children are supposed to be treated like kids and allowed to grow up and play outside and that. But anyway, the noise is gone now. Stephanie's gone forever. Hopefully she will never come back to haunt anybody. If she is harming her kids, I hope the police do, I hope the police do actually go after her. And, her and Stanley are a bad marriage from the start. They're a bad pair. They need to be sent to jail separately. They don't need to be together anymore. I'm an idiot. I should have kept one of her WhatsApp messages where she was... I didn't pay much attention at the time. I heard her yelling at her little 5-year-old child for doing the wrong thing, and I thought, I won't go into details, but she was yelling at her child, and I thought at first, well, people yell when they're angry, but then I thought, wait, at the time he was 5 years old. Stephanie was told to go to the school to pick him up and bring a change of clothing with her to help him get dressed up properly and then, return him back to school. Well, the way she went about it was rather disgusting, considering he was only a young boy at the time. He didn't know what he was even doing. He just was a typical 5-year-old child learning how to be a big boy in big school, and she treated him like shit. So I should have honestly kept one of those WhatsApp messages and turned her in with that. I should have done that. I should have turned her in years ago. Don't know why I didn't. I don't know. If she does come after me in some way, I will make sure that she loses complete custody, so no visitation for her children or nothing. Absolutely nothing. I hope she never sees her kids again. Her parenting is not a work in progress. She is downright disgusting. So is the husband. I hope he loses his parental rights. He is a horrible, horrible, horrible man. And he goes to church to get his sins absolved. He doesn't go to church to be a better person. He doesn't go to church to help the community. He goes to church to get his sins absolved so he can keep on doing the wrong thing. And people like that absolutely disgust me. He is absolutely disgraceful. And then to think that Stephanie can lose her kids and she doesn't even care. She controlled her children's lives, treated them horribly. The husband obviously helped her treat the kids horribly. Then she had the gall to say, oh, well, I don't want to know my kids anyway. She had the gall to disown her kids after she treated them like shit. Anyway, I'm glad she has deleted her YouTube channel. I'm not prepared to log into Twitter, so if she thinks she's going to find me on there, she'll probably find that I'm just unavailable, and she won't be able to stalk me through there anyway. I don't even use my Twitter account, so I mainly use my YouTube account. But yeah, just a warning to this vile piece of shit, Stephanie Mitchell, and her other alias is Passion for PNO. That's her other alias. The other one is the Blind Music Mum, and the other alias that she uses is the Web Musician. She has another alias called Mum with 3 kids. Mum with 3 kids. Mum with 3 kids. If you see any of those aliases around, I'm done with her. I've done my part. If there's anything concerning that any of you guys think you need to deal with, like you don't need to deal with her, but what I'm saying is, if she says anything or does anything that is wrong, you need to turn her into her police jurisdiction. I've done that. I threatened her last night in a YouTube post. She took off. Good. Anything else, that she does, everyone do likewise. Maybe not do as I do, but certainly do similar things to what I've showed as an example, so that she doesn't continue being a stalker and harassing people and being rude and that. She has a dark history. And no, for anybody that says, wouldn't you do that in the same situation, I say, well, fuck you if that's what you think. Fuck you if you think that I'm being judgmental and I would do the same thing in her situation. Fuck you, and I hope you die a slow, painful death. Because the way she treated her kids is just, shocking. She's definitely not normal, and no, not everyone is going to act the same in her situation. And for those who would, fuck you. That's all I've got to say about that one. As for everyone else on here who has subscribed, recently or in previous years, please keep joining me for future videos, because I'll still be doing them every so often. It's sort of random. I don't do them every day or every week. I just do them when I can. But yeah, I think maybe I should do a cooking video. I haven't done one for a long time.
Speech on YouTube, 24 new Netflix, YouTube, CNN, FaceTime, App Store, MyOpta, Medicare, Amazon, Google Map, Recorder HQ.
Got it.
Recorder HQ, back button. Step, iPad microphone. Stop, pause, stop, button.
Yeah, I think I might do a cooking recording. I'll be back in a minute to do
Stop
one.
button.
As for the rest of you guys, I hope you are all having a good day, good evening, wherever you are. My breathing issues, for anyone who wants to know, are getting better. The doctor has taken me off Ventolin the other day, and I can go back on it if I have to, but I don't really have to go back on it. And I bought a diffuser on Wednesday, which is it's a steam diffuser. It's this squarish thing that has a rounded opening on top of it, and you put water in it, and then you put a tiny little bit of 10 millilitres. That'd be about, how much is a tablespoon? Tablespoon is like 15 mils, I think, so probably 2 teaspoons maybe of this inhalant stuff. You tip it into the water a little bit, about 2 teaspoons into the water. It's optional, so you don't have to do it. You could even put a little drop of essential oil in there, or you can just leave it as is and don't put anything in the water. Unless you're going to actually clean the steamer thing out, which is basically dropping a special tablet into the water and then operating the machine as you do. It isn't poisonous unless you eat it, of course. Please don't eat those things. That's stupid. It's not toxic when you put it into the water and operate the machinery. It just cleans out as it dissolves. Then when it's all empty, you take you switch the thing off at the wall. You take the Duva Bobby off the top of the base, and you put it down on a clean surface. Obviously, you go back to the kitchen sink or wherever you favour the best, somewhere where there's a source of water, so long as it's clean water. You rinse it all out and you fill it up with water. Some of you might find it easier to rinse it out and then put it back in your favourite location and use a jug to fill it. It doesn't matter, just fill it up, and you can keep on using it. You put the Duva Bobby back in the thing, turn it on at the wall. When you've plugged it in, turn it on at the wall. The steam will start rising, and whether you want to or not, you can choose to or choose not to put anything into the water, so long as you drop one of those cleaning tablets into the water every, week or two or something. It'll just keep everything clean, including the mechanical parts in this diffusing thing that somehow, I don't know if it heats all the water or if it just gets hot so that the water evaporates into it and then it steams up. I don't know how it works, but basically it keeps that electrical thing cleaned inside where the steam gets created and goes through and rises up off the top of this thingo. And then you've got nice steam that goes into the air and it just inhales as you breathe normally. Your atmosphere gets, steamy, but not too hot. Just a bit of a steam, like a humidifier. So it humidifies the air and it's lovely to breathe in, So yeah, it's helping me a lot with breathing properly, and I've just left my Ventolin in my backpack. I'm just not going to get it out because I'm just leaving it in there so I don't lose it. the prescription that the doctor handed me, I've just left it in there because I know that I don't need to fill it in yet until next week.
Stop button.
Yeah. So I'm going to get going now and I'll be back to do another recording.
Stop button.
Oh, that steam inhaler diffuser, I mean that steam diffuser is so nice. It humidifies the air basically. It doesn't humidify the entire home. It just humidifies the air for a meter. So if you stand literally 1 meter away, it humidifies up to 1 meter away. So the surrounding air that it humidifies goes to exactly 1 meter all around. That's what the instructions say too. It's funny. So when you go near it, you can literally smell the humidified steam. It's all yum. Anyway, I'm going to go and I'll be back to do a cooking recording.
Button.